Vic, the juggling, especially, I guess, now Bandit, you've had a little extra time to sort of figure out what you want to do, but how are you handling that?
Well, we've got some guys that are trying. Obviously, moving some guys around isn't the best scenario, but I think they're getting better every day. And that's you would like to have these guys start getting reps way back in whenever we started this deal. But it is what it is. So we're trying to get better each day, each period, and that's that we're trying to keep what I call it compartmentalized. If I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but that's we're trying to just go like this. So.
Speed. How can you slow them down?
I don't know. I mean, they got really good players. They got like a track team out there, and in my memories of Baylor has always been like that. They've Texas has got. If you go to the state track meet, which we used to be able to do before the rules changed, where you could go and see all these guys run. You got to run like 10-2 to 100 meters to win the state track meet down there. And anyway, so there's a lot of fast guys, and they've got a bunch of them on their team.
You see a little bit of a combining of philosophies, because Matt's kind of brought that northeastern physical style with the southwestern style. You see a little bit of that with them?
Somewhat. I guess if you want to liken them to somebody that we've played, they run some stuff that Texas runs. They're started running the counter GT against Oklahoma State, which is what Oklahoma runs so much of. Their passing game is a little bit unique, and not unlike any that I've seen some that do some of the same things. They get a lot of combination routes, clusters, 3 to the side, and then run verts with drives, what we call drive routes. So there's just things our guys have seen before, but it's we're really working on what we do and things that we can improve on. Obviously, we're game planning, to try to put our guys in the best positions. So.
Hey Vic, so much of what you guys have to do is project going forward. Do you think Tyke next year is built for speed, or would you like to see him at cat or free?
That's probably too early to get right there. I haven't not talked to Coach Brown about this. I do think that what we have to do defensively is go back and say, all right, here's the players that we have, and this will be after the signing date type deal. Here's what best suits us. Here's going forward in this conference. Here's what we're going to need to be able to do. I don't think we're not suited. I think we are suited in some respects, but we gotta, for what we gotta have, linebackers. As much as we'd like to have, guys to stop the run and see, this conference is going to change, because we got Texas Tech who's spreading it, but then 2 weeks out, Kansas State, who you got to be able to hunker in and play the run. So, KU's kind of both. So we just got to go back and see, here's where we need to be, here's what we need to have, and then just kind of make those assessments after that. I think he can do either. So I hope that answers your question.
With the quarterback, Charlie Brewer, it seems like he really makes things go for them. What have you seen out of him that makes him so successful?
Well, he's experienced. It's not his first rodeo. He's not a freshman. He's not his first year in the system. He gets them in the right plays. His reads are correct a vast majority of the time. If you don't turn the ball over, then you give yourself a chance. So those are all things he does really well. When he scrambles, he's looking to throw the ball. So, you're going to have to do a great job in what we call plaster in your coverage, which we have not done a great job. We've got to improve on. So, there's a lot of positive things that he does, and that's, the benefits of having someone be in your system a little bit. So.
Last 4 weeks, he faced 4 similar type quarterbacks, but they seem to be unique in their own way too.
Yeah, they're all really good. Yeah, that's the common denominator. You know what? And that's the challenge of this conference. You can look at scores. You know, I text Gary Patterson, congratulations after the win the other night. And I know Gary's as good a defensive coach as there is, and they give up points. Texas is giving up points. There's some good defensive coaches. There's some that are giving up points. Look at OU's got good players. They gave up points. So the nature of this conference, I don't know that it has changed. But the thing we've got to do, I think, is continue to work on us getting better, and then we got to get takeaways. That's the thing that's been a little bit frustrating. There was a couple years ago where we weren't getting them, and then all of a sudden we got a whole bunch in a row. So I'm hoping that happens again as the season wears out here.
Dick, the change you're talking about, is it leaning toward run? It's been a wide open spread third round, but it seems like there's some really concentrated run offenses now too.
Well, I think that always runs in cycles. So it's I know Oklahoma, in retrospect, they were running a different type of counter than what we'd seen going into it, where they were getting 2 blockers with number 2 carrying the ball, which is his own animal, and then the quarterback going the other way with 2 blockers. So it's almost like a wing T. That isn't something that we had really seen from them. So that was an adjustment we kind of made. I don't know if I don't want to say it worked, because obviously not well enough, but so we're seeing all kinds of stuff, and I think every week has got its own challenges. I'm expecting that we'll see some different stuff out of Baylor. Baylor had not been a big counter team going into their last game, so then they got into the last game and they ran a whole bunch of counter. So we're going to have to go into it and try to be sound, and then try to adjust as the game goes. I know we got to cover the receivers. Their running backs can fly, so we're going to have to tackle in space. And then we got to make sure our guys are doing the right things. That's the thing that's the common denominator we got to do, is we got to do the right thing, and then we got to play really, really, really fast. So.
What changed a couple years ago? You talked about suddenly getting a bunch of turnovers in a row.
Nothing. Nothing that I could ever tell. We work on it 2 days a week. We really focus on, and it's consistently 2 days a week minimum. And then during spring ball, it's every day, and during camp, it's every day. We work on stripping the ball, ripping the ball out, wedging the ball out. I think. I wish there was something I could trust me if I knew the answer to that. It's like if I had the winning lottery tickets, I'd not be worrying about a lot of things. But anyway, so I'm saying that like a joke, but that's just something that I think our players, it's got to show up on the field. It's no different than taking correct angles and tackling. We practice taking the correct angles when we go try to make tackles. We practice that every single day, and yet you still have guys that don't do it. So it's frustrating. We just got to try to get better every day, and it's like the old deal about stacking pennies. When I was at UNC, we had a guy came in, and he started stacking these pennies, and then to show the players that if you just stack getting better, just a penny, and then exponentially, you can be wealthy if you just stack pennies together. So that was the analogy that Fedora was trying to make with the players, and it holds true. We just got to stack practices. You got to stack periods, and just keep stacking them and getting better and better, because you either get better or you get worse. And I heard it said, I was listening to a motivational speaker this morning driving into work, and I can't you either, I'm trying to remember the exact way it was put, but you're either setting forth your destiny or you're repeating the history. So, you know, our eyes and our attention is moving forward because we don't want to repeat the history of the last 3 games. So,
You studied Oklahoma State, Baylor game. What impressed you most about the way Baylor finished?
well, it impressed me the speed that they have, because I know Oklahoma State's, you know, Gundy's been there I don't know how many years now, and they've been able to recruit, and they recruit. They've got as nice facilities as anybody in the country, so they've been able to recruit top-notch guys, and to watch Baylor's guys, you know, run away from them, yeah, that's those things that keep you awake at night. So.
You got any theories on Reese's step up? And he seems to have stepped up as this year's gone on. Is it senior?
You know, I
realization?
I think Coach Leslie keeping a short leash on him and coaching the mess out of him. Sometimes the guys respond to different ways, and I know Coach Leslie has been really challenging Reese to get better, and I think having someone constantly challenging you to get better, eventually you just say, all right, I think the word's acquiesce. I think he just eventually said, all right, I'm going to do what you want me to do, and I think there's where he started getting better.
Vic, short term, long term, Jared Bartlett.
We're going to see. He's practicing. He's got some twitch about him, and we'll see how things transpire or whatever with Jared, because I think he's got some things that we don't have at linebacker, some quickness, got some knack on the pass rush. So, but he's just like the rest of those guys that got FR by their name, and you know we're going to see how he does whenever we get him in the game.